I'm Dr. Usman Nusrat, the Assistant Professor of and Gynae, DIMC OSHA campus. After you have been with me in the last session or in a posting session with the general physical examination, and I hope that you all have learned about what are the steps of that. Now today our discussion or the clinical session is on the systemic examination, that is in the OBS examination.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
यस, वालेकुम
हेलो,
अस्सलाम। जी
डॉक्टर उज़मा बात कर रही हैं?
जी, डॉक्टर उज़मा बात कर रही हूँ।
जी मैडम, अपना लेक्चर शेयर करें और स्टार्ट करें मैडम, क्लास स्टार्ट टाइम हो गया।
Yes, I just want to talk with them and then I'll share the screen. Okay, it's the video. Okay, I'll do it in between. अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम हो तो प्लीज मुझे let me know. अगर मेरी वीडियो सही नहीं चले तो प्लीज।
ओके मैम, ओके मैम, ओके मैम।
Okay. Now, after the general physical examination, students, the second part is the OBS examination. You all know that in the OBS, we are going to examine the pregnant ladies. And the examination on the pregnant lady, you all done with the general physical examination. And in the systemic examination, the part of the examination in the per abdomen is the OBS examination. What is the importance of the OBS examination? Why we are going to do the OBS examination? Any one of you? Any one of you can write it onto the chat. Yes. Yes. Any one of you? Any idea about the importance of perabdominal examination, the OBS examination of a pregnant lady? Yes. Any idea? Students, will you hear me? Students, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, beta. So any answer about the rationale of doing the perabdominal examination or OBS examination in a pregnant woman? Why we want to go for? What we want to look? Okay, we want to assess the health of the fetus and the mother, and how we can enable to do that. By measuring what? By assessing what? Any idea? Any one of you can answer how the abdominal examination or the OBS examination can help us in assessing the fetus? Hi, very good, excellent. The height of fundus is the more important factor that enables us to understand what is the height of the fundus so that we can match it with the original gestational age of the woman, so that we can assess that whether the height of fundus is more than that of a gestation, height of fundus is less than that of a gestation, so that we can make the health of the baby assumed from the umbilicus to the distance. So it is the examination can make you help out okay, how the authentic is the gestational age, which is relating to the on-permanent abdominal examination of the patient. And also we want to know about how the baby is lying in the womb under the uterus, which is called as the lie. So number one, we look for the height of the fundus. Number two, which enables us a gestational age by measuring the symphysiofundal height. And by having the certain grips, which are known as the fundal grip, the lateral grip, the pollic grip, and the pelvic grip, and by these applying these grips, we are able to identify how the baby is lying in the womb, which is called as the lie of the baby. What is the presenting part, like whether the breech or cephalic, and whether the head is engaged or not. By lateral grip, we are unable to assess how much amount of liquor it is and the baby is having around. So by doing the appropriate per abdominal examination in a pregnant lady or OBS examination, you are able to find out whether the height of fundus is corresponding her accurate dates, what is the lie of the baby, which is the longitudinal axis of the baby to the longitudinal axis of the mother, what is the presenting part, whether the head or a breech of the baby, what is the engagement of the fetal head into the pelvis, and what is the amount of liquor, and at the end, in the auscultation for the fetal heart sounds. Now here I'm going to share with you my the video which is regarding for the obstetric examination, and hope you people like it, and so that I will have a question session at the end, and you whatever you want to ask, you can ask with me. So I'm going for the screen share of my video.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Uzma Nusrat, working as an assistant professor at the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Daw University Hospital, Oja campus. On the platform of an e-doctor project of Daw University of Health Sciences, today my session comprises of obstetric and the gynecology pelvic examination. In my first hands-on examination session, I'm going to demonstrate you the examination of a pregnant lady, in which I will demonstrate you all the prerequisites regarding the examination, the techniques of the obstetric examination, and how will you examine a pregnant lady in your practice or in your field, so that you can identify the problem or identify the complications which are encountered in the cases of obstetric or a pregnant lady. My second session is of gynecology examination of those patients who are not pregnant, having the gynecological complaint, and this session comprising in 3 steps, including the per-abdominal examination of a patient, the pelvic examination. The pelvic examination has 3 compartments in which you go for inspection, the per speculum examination, and a bimanual pelvic examination. The main target and the theme of this examination is to identify the problems with which the gynecological complaint the patient come to you, so that you can identify the problem merely doing a proper pelvic or vaginal examination. Hope you people will join me and have a good time with me with these 2 sessions of examination. So let's move towards our examination session. Assalamu alaikum. My first section of hands-on examination is the examination of a pregnant lady. For the privacy purposes, we are using a mannequin to demonstrate you the obstetric examination of a pregnant woman. Regarding the prerequisites of examination, before asking for the examination, the patient should be asked to void the urine, and an informed consent should be taken for the examination. Patient should be lie down into a semi-recumbent position. The privacy should be maintained, and the patient should be asked for if she needs to have a chaperone with the examination. Before starting for the examination, we should stand over the right side of the patient. After taking an informed consent, the proper exposure is required. With the permission of the patient, the proper exposure of the abdomen, which starts from the ZP sternum till the pubic symphysis. After the inspection, the obstetric examination comprises of inspection, palpation, percussion and auscultation. In the inspection should be done on standing on the right side and more towards the foot end of the patient to look for the abdomen of a pregnant woman. In the inspection, we look for shape of the abdomen, the contour of the abdomen, stria glandularum, which are the pigmented or the stars on the east side of the abdominal wall. We examine the linea or the presence of linea nigra, the pigmented line arising from the umbilicus till the pubic symphysis, prominent veins, visible pulsations, and any scar mark. Usually the lower down pubic area scar mark or phalangeal incision of any pelvic surgery, any midline incision, any incision on the right or the left iliac fossa of any other surgeries. After the inspection has been complete, you move towards the patient and start for the palpation. The palpation comprises of superficial and deep palpations. But before going to perform the palpation, you must ask the patient for any area of tenderness so that you can palpate that area of tenderness the last. But if she says no, you start for the palpation, rubbing and warming your hand, and starting from the lower left quadrant, you just very gently push the abdominal wall, looking at the face of patient, any area of the tenderness. Mind it, your hands won't get up from the abdominal wall like this. You just keep intimate contact with the abdominal wall, looking at the face of the patient and ending up to the right upper quadrant of the abdomen. With this superficial palpation, you can appreciate abdominal distension, increased amount of liquor, or any presence of the area of tenderness or the ascites. The deep palpation in the obstructed patient comprises of obstructed examination, that is the examination of the baby, which comprises of the measurement of the symphysiofundal height, or the measurement or the assessment of the gestational age, the lie of the baby, what is the presenting part of the baby, what is the amount or how much is the amount of the liquor, what is the estimated birth weight, and to listen for the fetal heart sound. To enable us to identify these parameters of the baby, we have to perform the examination, which include the measurement of the symphysiofundal height, and with the 4 grips, we can identify these parameters of the baby, which include the fundal grip, lateral, colic, and the pelvic grip that I will demonstrate you right now. Before starting with this grip, I just going to measure the symphysiofundal height by using this measuring tape. Mind it that when you start for identifying or measuring the symphysiofundal height, the centimeter part of the measuring tape should be kept down. With the right hand, you can palpate the pubic symphysis of the upper border of the pubic symphysis and place this initial part of the measuring tape over that, leaving that all the measuring tape over the abdomen of the patient. Then with the ulnar border of the left hand, starting from the ZP sternum, you dip down and down so that you can feel for the height of the fundus. Where you feel the height of fundus, you stop and note down and invert the measuring tape. You look for the centimeter. It's comprising usually of 30-28 centimeters. The centimeters identifying on this measuring tape corresponds to the gestational age. Means 30 centimeter roughly corresponds to 30 weeks of gestation. After measuring the symphysiofundal height, you go for the grips to identify the different or the other parameters of the baby. First is the fundal grip. You keep your both hands at the maximum height of the fundus, which enables us or you to identify the lie or the baby or the contour of the uterus. Then gradually you goes down, and this is called as the lateral grip, in which you just press one hand from this side and feeling for the fetal part on the other. So simultaneously you are assessing the lie of the baby as well as amount of liquor, and at the same time you can feel for where the back of the baby, but your hands are synchronized, not like this, not like this. It should be synchronously moving down and down so that you can appreciate the lie. If your hands are going like this synchronously from above downward, it indicates a longitudinal lie of a baby. At the end, you just grasp the lower pole of the baby with your right hand. Grasping the part which is just above the pelvic brim, you can hold and feel for the presenting part. If you feel in a hard calf at the head, it is bloating. The presenting part is cephalic. Once you have confirmed that the presenting part, you turn round and dip your fingers on either side of the presenting part. If your hands meet together below the presenting part, it indicates that the head is not engaged into the pelvis, it is just above that. If the head or the presenting part is engaged, it has gone into the pelvis, you won't feel that, and you assess that head is engaged and gone into the pelvic brim. Simultaneously, when you are checking for the presenting part, if the head is floating with your whole complete hand, it indicates the fifth palpability of the presenting part. If it is just moving like this and giving in a grip of your all 5 fingers, it is 5/5 palpable. If the head is engaged, you are just dealing with the 3 fingers or 4 fingers, you said that it is 3 or 4/5 palpable and the presenting part is engaged. With these examination, you are able to assess the lie of the baby, the presenting part, and how much the presenting part is engaged or whether it is not engaged, and assessing the amount of blood. At the end, with the auscultation, we use the spinet to listen for the fetal heart sounds. The answer is, or the question arises, where you put this fetal scope or the spinet to listen for the fetal heart sound. In the lateral palpation or the grip, when you are palpating the back of the fetus, where you palpate the back of the baby, you just put the fetal scope over there and like that, listen for the fetal heart sounds for 1 minute. In this way, accounting the fetal heart for 1 minute is required. This is all about the obstetric examination of a pregnant woman. Once you have completed with examination, cover your patient back and say thank you.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum. Now, hope you have all seen the video. Yes. Hope you have seen this recorded session. Do you all hear that? You have seen that? Please. Yes. So what you have learned with that? What any question you want to ask, or I just explain you all? Good. Okay. Now you have seen this, the per-abdominal examination that is specific for the OBS patient or the pregnant ladies. In this examination, you have seen and appreciated that how we move towards the examination and what is in the session. I've also recalled you back what is the importance of doing the specific measures during the OBS examination. The basics is that it is more be helpful when you people are doing by yourself with the patients, and inshallah, hopefully very soon you have your postings and you can do it on the patients. And you can follow this all layout of the examination. So what is being enabled, what measure enables you to understand the presenting part? What grip enables you to assess the presenting part? Any one of you? Any one of you can describe the palpation? Yes, which grip? I have told you in the video that there are 4 grips. The fundal grip, lateral grip, collar grip, and the pelvic grip. So the grip which enables you to assess the presenting part is which grip? Which grip can assess you for the presenting part? No, the lateral grip won't. The presenting part, if you have seen in the video, with the right hand, you in the upper border of the pubic symphysis, you palpate for the fetal head or the breech. If you have a hard fetal head, you see that it is a fetal head or a cephalic presentation, or if a soft part is there, you can appreciate that this is a breech presentation. So the polygrip will help you for the presenting part. Okay. So what that the fundal grip? What is the significance of the fundal grip then? Any one of you? What is the importance of the fundal grip? Okay, what is the reason for if you found out that the patient is having the height of fundus of 28 centimeters and she is corresponding to the dates of 32. So what it leads to suspicious? What is could be the differential diagnosis if you find out that the height of fundus is more than that of a gestation? Any one of you? The height of fundus is more, very good, excellent. The height of fundus may be due to the polyhydramnios. Polyhydramnios is a condition in which there is the amount of liquor is more than that adequate. But whenever you people mind it, whenever you people have the height of fundus more than that of a gestation or less than that of a gestation, you first think of mistaken dates. First differential should be mistaken dates. Okay? Mistaken dates must be considered first whenever you find out onto the examination when the height of fundus is more than that of a gestation or less than that of a gestation. So in that cases, you can first think of mistaken dates. Number one. Number two, if the height of fundus is more than that of a gestation, you think of polyhydramnios. What else you think of if mistaken dates are not there or polyhydramnios is not there? What is the another reason for the height of fundus more than that of gestation age? Any one of you? If the height of fundus is more than that of a gestation? No, if the height of fundus means when a baby is inside and the height is more, very good, excellent. The gestational diabetes. So what do you expect in the gestational diabetes? The height of fundus. Why the height of fundus is more than that in the gestational diabetes, please? बेटा आप सबको आंसर कर दीजिए, प्राइवेटली ना करो बेटा, सबको करो ताकि सब देखें आपका आंसर. You are right. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. The macrosomic baby. Please chat on so that everyone can see your answer. Yes, the macrosomic baby in the suspicious of diabetes. Excellent. That is it lead to the height of fundus more than that of a gestation. And number two, if there is the polyhydramnios. Any other thing? Any other? But molar pregnancy, beta hum examination we are doing for the pregnant. Excellent. Who did it? That's multiple pregnancy. Good. Very good. The multiple pregnancy. So whenever this and why this is all happens when you do your perfect per-abdominal examination. If you are doing the perfect per-abdominal examination so that you can identify that my patient is having height of fundus more than that of a gestation. So first you have to rule out mistaken dates, number one. Number two, it could be gestational diabetes, macrosomic baby. Number three, the polyhydramnios, and very good answer, it could be a multiple pregnancy. But what happens if the height of fundus is less than that of a gestation? For example, she is 32 weeks of gestation by dates, but height of fundus is 28. What do you think of that if the height of fundus is less than that of a gestation? Any one of you, please come up. The height of fundus is less than that of a gestation. So what could be the reason in that? Number one is the first you have to rule out what? If the height of fundus is less than of gestation, very good, excellent, good. The mistaken dates should be ruled out first whenever the height of fundus is less than that of a gestation. And then if it could not be there, there is no mistaken dates and you have covered with the early scan and the dates. The other reason could be, very good, good, very good. The intrauterine growth restriction, oligohydramnios, excellent. You people are very good. You are just taking my words that you are understanding that what I am talking, because it's very difficult to understand on the examination on these sessions. But I think people are getting the point. So the height of fundus is less than that of a gestation include oligohydramnios, mistaken dates, and IUGR. So now you people can understand what is the importance of this OPS examination, very important, so that you can identify my patient is having oligohydramnios, twin pregnancy, gestational diabetes, IUGR, so that if you perform. Number two, what is the importance of the lie of the baby? What is the importance of lie and how many types of lie? Do you people know? How many types of the lie of the baby? Do you people know that? Very good, good. The lie of the baby is very important so that you can assess the mode of delivery assessment. And how many types of lie of the baby? They are longitudinal lie, transverse lie, and the oblique lie. Normal lie of the baby is the longitudinal lie. But whenever there's the transverse lie, whenever there is an oblique lie at the term, the mode of delivery would be different, that is the surgical or by the abdominal route rather than the vaginal route. So now, what is the importance of the presenting part? How many types of the presenting part? What are the normal presentation? Normal presentation is cephalic. What other presentation it would be? It could be. Any one of you? Breech, very good, good. Breech presentation. Buttocks means the breech, okay? Breech presentation, anything? Any one of you, other presentations? Any one of you? The face presentation, the brow, very good. The brow presentation, good. So these are the normal presentation is the cephalic presentation, and the other presentations which are called as a malpresentations are the breech presentation, the brow presentation, the face presentation. So by doing the examination, you can appreciate whether there is in the buttocks, the breech presentation, or there is in a head, that is for the cephalic presentation. So in this way, by performing the proper OPS examination, you are able to assess whether the height of fundus is corresponding to the dates to rule out the causes of causes of reduced or the increased symphysiofundal height. You assess the lie of the baby so that you can have the assessment for the mode of delivery, whether the lie is longitudinal, transverse, or oblique. By assessing the pollic grip, you assess the cephalic presentation, or there is a malpresentation like breech, so that you can enable to assess the mode of delivery as well. By assessing the amount of liquor by lateral grip, you can able to understand whether this is a polyhydramnios or there is a oligohydramnios, so that you can move towards the appropriate management. So any one of you want to ask question, because today's session is of only the OPS examination. So I've shown you the video and as well as your discussion with this. So any one of you want to ask the question with me, so you can ask. Yes. Yes. The engagement of the fetal head, as you see in my video, we will share you the link soon. So in that, the pelvic grip. The pelvic grip will enable you to assess the engagement of the fetal head, okay? By assessing with the pelvic grip, means that you can dip down both your hand fingers on each side of the presenting part and look whether your finger meets together below the presenting part. It means that the head is not going into the pelvic cavity. But if your hands are not meeting together, it means that the head or a part of the presenting part has gone below the pubic symphysis or into the pelvic cavity. So by pelvic grip, you can assess the engagement of the presenting part. Any one of you, any question you want to ask more? Yes? Yes, this is the difference. I've told you about the pelvic grip means pollic grip. In the pollic grip, you have to keep your whole hand in the suprapubic area to grasp the lower part of the presenting part of the baby. With your whole hand, you can feel what is the part there, whether it is a cephalic, the head, or where there's a buttocks or the breech. So this way, this is the pollic grip. You assess whether this is a breech presentation or the buttocks are there, or the head presentation, that is the cephalic presentation. But in the pelvic grip, you can keep your both hand fingers on each side of the presenting part and dip down to assess whether the head or the presenting part is gone into the pelvic bone or not. This is the difference between these two drips. Got it? Yes, regarding the fetal heart sounds, whenever you are doing the lateral grip. In the lateral grip, you see in the video that I am assessing the amount of liquor as well as with my finger, where is the back of the baby. So when you are assessing and you identify that the back of the baby is either on the right side of the abdomen or the left side of the abdomen. So where is the back of the baby? You put the fetoscope on that side and listen for the fetal heart sound. Okay? Is it okay? Is it okay, bete? You asked the question, is it okay? Okay, good. Thank you. Any one of you want to ask? Any question you want to ask? I know that it is very difficult for the examination, but inshallah, very soon we are hopeful we'll meet together and we have a good hands-on session of this examination soon, inshallah. Yes, we will send you the link. Yes, any question you want to ask? Ji beta. We will send you the link. So is this okay? Should I end? No more questions?
हेलो, अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
जी बेटा, अब इनके कोई